Thank you for waiting, everybody, and welcome. My name is Kraft, and we're here today to talk about crafting your source of power. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to be with me today. We're going to talk about the power of language and how you can use this power to affect your relationships, your successes, and your life. Before we get started, though, let me just spend a moment, if you will, please. Let me introduce myself. Again, I'm Gail Kraft, and I'm the founder of Kraft Bravery in Your Business. And we're dedicated to being agents of change for both individuals and businesses who are ready to just take it to the next level. I've spent over 20 years doing this with business leader, as a business leader, and with business leaders, with startups and large corporations, and I've executed change for companies like Mass Teachers Association, John Hancock Property and Casualty, and Morton Salt's CBD division, just to name a few. Around 2010, I broke away from big business and started combining my leadership and mentoring skills with coaching. I began focusing on entrepreneurs and small businesses. And I've gone on a little exploration as well and started bringing in practices such as neuro-linguistic programming and visioning and understanding how the power of who we are can propel us forward. And I've pulled this together and have impacted clients and I've impacted businesses, taking it to the next level. But enough about me. This is really about you. So today, we're going to talk about your DNA and getting it shifted. During this presentation, you'll understand the power of your language and how it can affect your life, how it can affect your prosperity, and you're going to discover what you really might be focusing on, both intentionally and unintentionally. So there is a road to awareness and a road to intention that we're going to carve out today. You want to discover, hopefully today, what you really focus on. Be open and honest. Be willing to play with me today. Are you aware of what you focus on? And the road to awareness is full of intentions. So your language. Become aware of the power of that your language has. So let me give you a few stories of myself, if you will, so bear with me. My first discovery of what happens with language was at a point in time. I was 16 years old, having dinner with my family. My brother is much older than me, and don't know to this day exactly what it was that I said, but the following day, my sister-in-law pulled me aside and said, that was incredibly hurtful. You have no idea the damage you just caused, and don't ever speak to your brother, my husband, like that again. So I had learned how to be very sharp and go for the jugular, no holds barred. At that point, I realized that what came out of my mouth could physically and emotionally impact someone in a moment's notice. So I started to become aware of my language and how I used it. And, it took a long time. This was in my DNA. This was genetically programmed for me to just react and go for the jugular, and I needed to find out how to reformulate my words. So I started with reformulating my language, how I spoke, but still didn't get to the core of things. So at one point I was working, and actually because of my language, because of the way that I spoke, not what I said, but the way that I spoke, I was less effective than I could have been. And I started to realize the common denominator in everything was me, and took a look at, so what's going on with me? How can I take a look at my words and take a look at my language and shift it so that it is much more effective? So your language can bring someone to their knees, destroy their very livelihood if you are an employer, or can be used to raise the listener to the stars. What a wonderful experience that is. But what is your language doing to others? What are your thoughts doing to you. The impact of your spoken word has on others is the shadow of the power you're thinking and what that power has on you. Are you bringing yourself to your knees, or are you reaching the stars? So, for me, reaching the stars has been a remarkable journey, and it continues and it continues and it continues. When I speak to myself in my mind, when I speak out loud, I am very conscious of the negative words that I might be using and reformulate what I'm saying into a more positive experience. So discover what you're really focusing on. Are you aware of your focus? So listen to the chatter that's going on in your head right now and think about what you're saying to yourself and what you say to yourself over and over and over again. Okay? How about the jokes you're saying? Oh, I really didn't mean that. Oh, but your brain, your subconscious mind does not get jokes, does not understand humor. Your conscious mind, the mind that you're listening to and thinking with right now as you're listening to me, has the ability to shift and control the unconscious mind, but the unconscious mind is what impacts your life. Your unconscious mind affects your feelings affect your actions, and your actions affect your results. When you see these results, then think about how you can shift your thought pattern so that you shift your results. Your conscious mind directs your unconscious. The unconscious has the power. So awareness, become aware. So the road to awareness and intention lies in just the awakening. And today is your first journey towards that awakening. As you practice reframing your conversation, it goes like this. What did I say? What should I have said? What could have happened? So for example, you're in the middle of a heated conversation and all of a sudden you say something that is really hurtful, really disempowering to the other person. And your mind, your conscious mind says, oh, what did I just do? Not a problem. You realize what you just did, make it better. Okay. Then the next time, because you're becoming aware, it's a journey of becoming aware. As you become aware, then the next step is you notice that it's happening, it's concurrent. So the words are coming out of your mouth, and I can actually remember doing this. You literally see them coming out of your mouth, and you're trying to stop them. You're trying to physically, with your hands, stop the words, but it's too late. They're out. That's okay. You're becoming more aware. And then you start to realize that you're about to say something, and you shift it before it comes out. And there's a fourth step to this, and the fourth step is you are so aware that the shifting happens at a subconscious level, and your thoughts are always on the positive side. Your thoughts are always on the empowering side. Your thoughts are always helping you and others lift to the next level. Your thoughts, your words are important, and they're powerful. So, symptoms. Be careful of the side effects of becoming aware of your language and the power you gain, because there are symptoms to this process that you're going through. So you might want to sit down, please, and take a piece of paper, because, just like any shift, you're going to start seeing these things pop up in your life, and you want to be aware of this, okay? You're ready to handle this, okay? If you don't have paper and pen yet, stop the recording, get some, sit down, and listen carefully. Some of the symptoms of becoming aware of your language and shifting to a more positive, more powerful way of thinking and speaking might result in an increased tendency to let things happen rather than making them happen. You might have frequent attacks of smiling and giggling. You might start to have a feeling of being connected with others and with nature. There will be frequent, overwhelming episodes of appreciation. You might start having a tendency to think and act spontaneously rather than from fears based on past experiences. You might have an unmistakable ability to actually enjoy each moment. You might find a loss of the ability to worry, a loss of interest in judging others, a loss of interest in judging yourself. You might find that you're now gaining the ability to love without expecting anything in return. The impact of shifting your language is pretty powerful. Let's talk about a couple of basic things that you can do so that you can experience these symptoms. When you're writing, when you write something down, before you send it, stop, print it out. Circle every negative word on that paper. And then rewrite it so that negativity is not there. Even the tendency, remove the tendency. That starts with the written word. Then with the spoken word, when you say something, or the thought when you think something, and you realize that you used a negative word or a disempowering phrase, at that point in time, rephrase it, especially the thought. Rephrase it. And love yourself for being so smart that you caught it. And then notice, as you start to increase your ability to be more positive, to be more powerful, to be more directive, that you'll start seeing some of these symptoms come up in your life as well. So thank you so much for sharing time with me today and discussing some of the strategies for crafting the source of your power. And the first source to craft is that of language. And I'm Gail Kraft, author, presenter, coach, founder of Kraft Bravery and Your Business. And I'd love to hear more from you. Please feel free to go to my website, www.gailkraft.com, and let me help you take the next step. Thank you, everybody. Go out and change that language. Bye.